The Ghostbloods are an enigma of an organization. On one hand, we have a pretty good understanding of their attitude, structure and temperament. On the other hand, we still don't know much about their ultimate goals. What do they want? Why are they on Roshar? And how are they as well informed as they are? These are all questions we should be asking ourselves. And in this short video, I want to examine what it is we know about the Ghostbloods and their structure, what they've done on Roshar as far as we know, and what conclusions we could gain from that information. As a caveat, this video is being written and produced before the release of the latest Mistborn book, The Lost Metal, though it will be released well after the book is out. As such, if there's any information revealed that answers some of my questions or invalidates some points, then do take that into consideration. Before we jump in though, please consider giving this video a like, since it's the main way YouTube knows to promote the video. If you'd like to see more Cosmere lore videos, definitely let me know by liking and commenting down below. And if you're interested in more, then consider subscribing since there's definitely more to come. Also, just a quick shout out to the curators of the Copper Mines, the Cosmere Wiki. Without the awesome people over there, videos like this definitely wouldn't exist on the channel. Anyway, let's jump right in. Who are the Ghostbloods? What are their objectives? And what have they done that could give us some information as to their greater goals? So this is what we know about the Ghostbloods. The Ghostbloods are a secret organization on Roshar, though they are not Rosharan in origin. Members are required to get a tattoo of 3 overlapping diamonds somewhere on their bodies, and we can assume that this is their emblem or symbol to identify one another. The Ghostbloods seek power. They are seeking a way to get Stormlight, Investiture, off-world from Roshar through Shadesmar. They hunt Restories and the Sons of Honor, as they fear that they are close to discovering the secret of making this possible. So clearly it's important to the Ghostbloods that they have a monopoly or at least a head start on this. Stormlight is free, portable, easy to access power, which could be invaluable on any other Cosmere planet. To attain this goal, they need control of the Oath Gates, which inspired their hunt for Urithiru. They seek perfect gemstones that would allow the Stormlight to last long enough to get off-world, though there is a connection problem that causes the investiture to become insanely heavy the further you go. The Ghostbloods are also obsessed with finding Bar Ado Mishram, who has the ability to bind minds of an entire people, though it is unclear why they would want this. They are not interested in seeing Odium rule Roshar, and they seek to bond Sha'anat, as her ancient knowledge would be invaluable. They also seek to imprison heralds in gemstones in order to obtain information. Thydakar, their leader, seeks knowledge about an affliction he shares with the heralds in order to save himself. The Ghostbloods operate across multiple planets within the Cosmere, though we mostly interact with them on Roshar. They operate within a strict hierarchy, since a group of hunters without structure would turn on each other way too easily. They do not strike against their own, and they do not negotiate upwards. It is also common for a master to spy on their pupil. Thydakar, their leader, is not on Roshar and only comes as an avatar. Thydakar does affect the Ghostbloods' actions, but they are a little removed from him on Roshar and thus may do things he doesn't completely agree with. There's a lot that the Ghostbloods have actively tried to do or succeeded at doing on Roshar. While we don't know about all of their efforts, we do know about some. The first thing we learn of is that they have a particular vendetta against Jasnah Kholin. The Ghostbloods have made several attempts to murder Jasnah Kholin, and claim that she has a number of their members assassinated as well. When Jasnah spent time in Kharbranz to study the Voidbringers, a Ghostblood agent named Kabsal infiltrated the local Ardentia in order to kill Jasnah. He used her young ward Shallan Devar to get close to Jasnah, which led to them forming a relationship. As Kabsal attempted to poison Jasnah with bread, he was inadvertently killed when he ate some of the poisoned bread, and Jasnah soulcast his antidote, mistakenly believing that to be the poison. Jasnah later found the Ghostblood tattoo on Kabsal's arm. When Jasnah left Kharbranz, the Ghostbloods planted at least one operative aboard the ship Wind's Pleasure on the journey from Kharbranz to the Shattered Plains. That operative, along with other men Shallan did not recognize, attempted to murder Jasnah. They thought they'd succeeded, but in reality Jasnah had escaped to Shadesmar by Elsecalling. Jasnah assumes that she was targeted because of her radiant oaths. Beyond just trying to assassinate Jasnah, however, they also took a liking to Shallan Devar, her ward. Not only that, but they also have a curious connection to Shallan's family. Let's briefly unpack the Ghostblood connections with Shallan and her family. A man identified with the Ghostbloods was financing Lyn Devar, Shallan's father, in his bid to become a High Prince of Yar Kaved. After an unknown Vedin Shardbearer attacked Amram, Amram speculated that Thydakar and the Ghostbloods were behind the attack. The unknown Shardbearer turned out to be Helarin Devar, Shallan's brother. The Ghostbloods were sought out by Shallan Devar, who, under the disguise of Veil, wanted to investigate them. Shallan met with Mraize and Iyatal in a Ghostblood hideout located in Sabariel's war camp and managed to trick them into believing that she was sent there by Tin. Mraize, unaware that Tin was dead, ordered Shallan to tell Tin to investigate the quarters of Meridas Amaram. Shallan successfully performed this task and brought her findings to Mraize, which led to her accidentally revealing her photographic memory. Mraize then deducted that Tin was dead, killed by Shallan, but commended her for it. He then told her that she could get a place amongst the Ghostbloods if she completed tasks for them. However, he also allowed other Ghostbloods to attempt to murder her if they wanted to. Shallan managed to avoid the attempts on her life and carried out her task to investigate Taln's presence in the war camp of Dalinar Kholin to a satisfactory manner. After the Battle of Narak and the subsequent discovery of Urithiru, Mraize confronted Shallan and revealed that he had figured out her real identity as Lyn Devar's daughter, Jasnah Kholin's ward, and a Knight Radiant with the ability to soulcast. Mraize reminded her of her family's debt to the Ghostbloods and also revealed that Ghostblood agents had rescued her brothers from the civil war in Yar Kaved and would bring them safely to Urithiru. The Ghostblood operatives succeeded, and the Devar brothers arrived in Urithiru after the Battle of Thaylen Field. During her wedding, Shallan is instructed in a letter from Mraize to recruit Sja-anat into the Ghostbloods. Mraize requested a bond between a Ghostblood and one of her enlightened spren. Shallan, however, only arranged a meeting and Sja-anat sent Tumi, who ended up bonding Relaine. Mraize has also asked Shallan to investigate the wrongness in Urithiru, which she was already sensing. This led her to find, confront and expel the Midnight Mother. The Ghostbloods also wished to keep an eye on the activities of House Sidious, and Mraize was personally spying on them, acting as a guard to Eli Sidious in Urithiru. They struck at Eli several times and ultimately succeeded when Shallan assassinated her with Blackbane, though Shallan claimed she did this for the good of Alethkar. Shallan and the Unseen Court searched Eli's bedchambers and found a notebook containing many Ghostblood secrets, including a map of Shadesmar, a route through the Sea of Lost Lights, and Thydakar's supposed off-world origins. Shallan's identities debated their interest in joining the Ghostbloods. Veil was interested in joining but refused to get the tattoo. Shallan planned to break ties with the Ghostbloods. Formless, an imagined fourth identity for Shallan where she hid her self-doubt and selfish ambitions, wanted to join the Ghostbloods. Mraize eventually offered Shallan full membership in the Ghostbloods in return for assassinating Ristaris, the leader of the Sons of Honor. Shallan hunted Ristaris into lasting integrity in Shadesmar, where she found out that Ristaris was an alias for the Herald Kalak. After an internal struggle, Shallan decided against killing him and then broke ties with the Ghostbloods. She threatened Mraize to leave Urithiru and warned him that she would be hunting for Ba Edomishram. Mraize warned her that she'd moved against the group in the most offensive of ways. It seems that the Ghostbloods have plans to commercialize investiture on a much larger scale than what happened on Scadrial. In these efforts, they bring sand from Taldane, Sions from Sel, and Aviars from the First of the Sun to Roshar. They want to use the Oath Gates to facilitate the trade of these items on Roshar, as they would not need to rely on perpendicularities. Mraize also mentions that perfect gemstones would be a good tool for carrying Stormlight off Roshar. In fact, Jasnah has noted that there are nowhere near as many perfect gemstones in circulation as there should be, which leads Adolin to theorize that some group must be aware of their importance, like the Ghostbloods, and has been secretly collecting them. The Honest Spren of Lasting Integrity have collected several perfect gemstones over millennia, though it is unclear how many they have compared to how many Jasnah thinks there should be. So, as you can see, there's a lot we know about the Ghostbloods. We know they're an organization of ruthless hunters. We know that they have intimate ties with the Devar family. We also know that they are not above assassinating anyone who seems to stand in their way, like Jasnah or Ristaris. They seem to be seeking information and are constantly spying on powerful people and other secret organizations. Above all this, They are also seeking an answer to transporting various forms of investiture across the Cosmere, and are particularly interested in Stormlight due to its plentiful nature and the ease at which they can harvest it. And considering the true identity of Thaidakar, there could be various reasons why they so desperately seek this information. Are they just a group of power-hungry spies and cutthroats? Or are they a group of ruthless entrepreneurs who seek to monopolize what is arguably the most lucrative sector of future Cosmere space travel, even if it means killing those who got in their way? I think it might be a bit of both. The organization is clearly set up to attract the most ruthless and ambitious people out there, but their goals are definitely not pure bloodlust. They're crafty and seem to want some kind of system set in place that would benefit them the most. Here's how I see things playing out. I think the Ghostbloods may very well be a group of ruthless cutthroats, but not because they just like killing. Instead, the organization is set up in a way that attracts these people but directs their cunning energy towards a higher goal. They're set up not to trust one another and constantly spy on each other, but the rules set in place prevent them from taking that suspicion too far. In fact, it seems to promote ruthless competition amongst their ranks. They seem to have no qualms about confronting some of the most powerful people on Roshar, since they see these people as a means to an end. Think about it. They attack Yasna Kholin, the sister of the king of Alethkar. They make shady deals with Lindavar, a noble lord of Yakaved. They seek to capture or bond the unmade, powerful entities with unknowable potential and power. They even seek to capture the heralds and don't flinch at working with both sides of the war during the desolation. On top of that, they want to control the transport and distribution of investiture around the Cosmere. This point cannot be understated. Right now it may seem trivial, but if they succeeded at this, they will effectively become the most powerful organization in the entire Cosmere eventually. Imagine when the Cosmere is in the space stage and how many times a ship would want to leave a planet, or how many times a magic needs to happen off-world from the planet it comes from. Who would control that? Who would facilitate that? Who would charge for that? If they achieve their goals, the Ghostbloods would. If they don't like you, they can cut you off from the rest of the Cosmere and leave you stranded on your planet. If they like you a lot, they can give you benefits and privileges that would give you a massive advantage. They would have the power to decide on who won entire interplanetary wars if they're successful. And if I'm not mistaken, Brandon did confirm that the activities of the Ghostbloods are sowing the seeds for the space stage of the Cosmere, so this scenario does have some credence to it. Also, their structure and actions seem to indicate that they would exercise this potential power and control whenever it suited them. I also don't doubt that once Thaidakar is able to leave his planet, he would probably rein them in and get them to follow his commands a lot more strictly than they currently do. Which means he would become the most powerful person in the Cosmere. Not necessarily magical power, but political and economic power. But those are just some of my own thoughts on the matter. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Also, if you're not sure what Thaidakar's true identity is yet, beware of spoilers in the comments. I've tried to avoid it in this video, but the comment section is free game. You have been warned. Thank you very much for watching. I sincerely appreciate all your time and attention. If you enjoyed the video, please consider leaving a like, since that's one of the biggest metrics that YouTube looks at when recommending it. And if you'd like to see more, please hit that subscribe button so you can be notified of future videos. Take care, and we'll talk again very soon.